Hey guys, welcome back to Mikeanic. Today we have a compilation video for you. I hope you enjoy it and look forward to seeing you at the end. Hey guys, so today we have this. It's a Mastercraft 3-in-1 that was sold at Canadian Tire. I believe this is actually similar to a Craftsman product. As you can see though, it doesn't have an engine. But good thing, I actually have an engine for this. Now the whole story here is the fact that I had gotten this one actually running. I was getting it ready for sale and I was doing a little bit of a cleanup. Well, while I was doing a cleanup, I noticed that there was a lot of debris that was underneath the flywheel. So I removed the flywheel to give it a bit of a cleaning. Then when I was putting it back together, I didn't realize that I had the gun set to full send. And sure enough, it full sent it straight down and split the flywheel right in half. So I've been on the search for another flywheel. This video up here, I scavenged the flywheel from right here, and I'm going to put it on the engine. So I figure I can get this one going. So now I have a deck for another engine if I have another engine, which I'm pretty sure should not be too hard to find. Anyway, let's get into this. Let's get that mower engine put on. Hopefully it starts. If not, we'll give it a quick cleaning and put it back together. But the oil's already done, so we don't have to do an oil change on it. And ever since the oil's been done, it might have maybe 5 or 6 minutes of runtime. All right, let me get the engine and get it put on. All right, there we go. And yeah, as you can see, it's another Tecumseh engine. In fact, it's an LEV 100. Date of manufacture was 1057. So when I read this, I think this most likely 2001. In 2004, that's when they switched to a 5-digit as opposed to a 4-digit year. So this would have probably read 01057. So this, 2001. 163cc LEV 100 engine, 4.5 horse. These are actually half decent engines. As long as they're well maintained, they can last a long time and they have a fair amount of power. All right, let's get this mounted up, which should be 3 9/16 bolts. Let's get those on. Okay, so I've located a few bolts. I've put them in. Now, let's just jack this up so I can run them down. All right, so let's run these down. They should be 9/16. Just move this board out of the way for the time being. Are they 9/16? Are they half inch? They're half inch. Of course they are. So let's run these down. These should be half inch. First one. Second one. Third one. Now I'll give them a couple shots on. There we go. Now let's get this blade on. That should be, I don't know what that should be. Let's make sure it's not a half inch first. It's 9/16. Okay, so this should be 9/16. Definitely not half inch. So let's take that off. There. And now we get the blade on. Blade's got a pretty good edge still on it. Let's get the blade on in the right orientation. Now the crank bolt. Why do I feel like I missed the crank bolt? There we go. I got it that time. Don't worry, spark plug wire's off. Okay, so let's tighten that down. So we're going to set this to full send and put it on. And there we go. It's on. And did you see when it spun? That's why you need to make sure you take the spark plug wire off, just so it doesn't accidentally possibly start. Hit the safety. That's perfect. So that's on. I put copper grease on so the next person that comes along to try it shouldn't have any issue taking it off. As for the oil that's all over this, yeah, it kind of ended up making a mess when was doing an oil change ages ago. It just hasn't dripped off because I haven't cleaned it off. Okay, so that part's done. We got the blade on. Got the engine mounted. So now we need to get this thing outside and get the handlebars on and get it tested. I guess I can bypass the handlebars, but why? It's a real pain to get it started. Let me lower this down. All right. So spark plug wires on this jingling spark plug. That means business. Let's get this thing outside and try it out. Okay, but before we get it outside, we do have to get that flywheel on. So let's quickly take this apart. So I gotta pull this gas tank off, get this shroud off, take the oil tube off, and I also noticed a problem. I forgot about this. Good thing I checked the oil, which I don't think there is oil in this, so we'll have to fill this up with oil. But the oil dipstick tube, the seal at the bottom, has come off. That's a problem. So we got to take care of that. So some minor stuff, but let's get that flywheel on. So I'm going to pull this up and take the two 3/8 bolts off at the back. There's no 5/16 at the front. I pulled them off for use on this tiller up here. But I do have two brand new ones, which are going to go into this. All right, let's get started. Gas tank, it's just on two slots, couple of slots back here, which for these. So there's no fuel in here, so I'm just going to move it out of the way. And here we go, the two 3/8. So we're going to pull those off. Let's get these 3/8 off. Okay, we'll lift the shroud up and away. Let's make sure the air filter tube over here comes out from the shroud. There's the flywheel key. So we'll just align the flywheel and the key together. Well, the garbage just fell over. Now when we seat it, it should push it down the rest of the way. So put the starter cup on. Convex washer. As you can see, it's slightly curved. Curve goes up. Now the 3/4 nut. And now I'll set the gun to number 2 setting and run that down. Couple more shots, that should be good. And of course, since we've put a different flywheel, we need to reset the coil gap. So to do that, we need a 1/4 inch. So we take off the coil, 1/4 inch. We're just loosening it. We're not actually taking it right off. Well, that's great news. An election right around the corner to get rid of Trudeau. Woohoo! All right, so now we pull this. Well, let's turn this out of the way first. Then we're going to pull this back, and we're going to take a business card, put it in, and then we roll this back, and you can see it pulled the coil towards it, which is what you want. This creates an air gap. So now we just tighten it down. And that's it. Rotate the flywheel, take out the card, and now we've got a roughly, I think it's 1/10,000th gap, which is what you want, which is perfect. And looking down here, 100%, definitely no oil. So let me get 600 mil of oil, or this many in Freedom units, pour it in there, get the shroud back on with the dipstick tube, and then we'll try to get this thing started. All right, so we got to start with 500 first. No, I haven't replaced the one that broke. I will. There's 500. Hey, look at that, guys. Look what I found. A red subscribe button. If you made it this far into the video, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, give it a thumbs up. Comment below. I love to read your comments, and I try to reply to as many of them as I can, especially the early ones. All right, guys, back to the video. Oh, Oh, I forgot that this is one of these. This is going to be tricky to pour it in there. You think I can do it? Or do you think I'm going to make a mess? I wonder. Well, let's get another camera in here. Okay, here we go. Am I going to make a mess? Let's see. Oh, I haven't yet. I dribbled a little on the side. I know, right? At least there's no seat. I didn't have to lift it. So it's okay if I... Oh, look at that! Oh, no! What happened? What happened? Did you see that? Wow. Just all of a sudden said, no, I'm full, and spit it out at me. Well, that's a good sign. That means it's full. I hope it's not leaking underneath. I'm going to look underneath. No, it's not leaking underneath. So I guess that's it. Guess it still had some oil in. That wasn't so bad, though. I caught it in a hurry. I only made a tiny mess. See, now if I had a funnel and I had it all filled up and it was... And that happened, then that would have been even worse, because then I would have had a whole bunch of oil and it would have all come down. That would have been just one nasty mess. But good thing I've got shop towels. And look how nice and shiny it suddenly made this. Look, it looks like it's brand new again. Look at that. That's nice and shiny because of the oil. Of course, that's just going to dull pretty quick. That's all right. Okay, well, that's done. So let's get the shroud back on. And I can say that, yeah, the oil's full. Just because the oil's full doesn't mean that this engine doesn't take 600 mil of oil. It just means that there was oil in there. As I said, I had done an oil change, but I guess I must have leaked some of the oil out. And as you saw, the seal was not on the stick, so it probably leaked out when I tipped it over a couple times, the engine. And that also will explain a lot where all that oil underneath, where all that oil came from. That would definitely explain it. All right, let's get the shroud on. Okay, so there's the end of the dipstick tube. The seal's now back on. Let's get that back on, back in the engine. Air filter hose now in. Pull that over that. Okay. And now, get the dipstick tube in. Pop, pop, pop. Okay, that's good. Let's get those 3/8 in. And now the two new 5/16ths. So we get the 5/16 socket. Okay, we get the two 5/16 bolts here. Run those in. And two. That's it. Those are on. Okay. Oh, she's pulling around. Flywheel feels good. Oh, this is going to be great. I can't wait to try this thing out. Hopefully it runs and it doesn't become yet another Tecumseh carburetor cleaning video. But hey, I mean, it's not too bad so far. Nice and short and sweet so far. So if it's another carburetor cleaning video, then it draws it out a little bit. What's the rush? Why are you rushing to go? Anyway, let's get the gas tank on. Gas tank's on. Now we'll take it outside, get the handlebars on, and try it out. What the heck? All right, see you soon. Okay, so I've got the handlebar on. I just got to get the bail, and let's get the brake cable on. There we go. Let me grab the bail cable, the bail handle. Okay, the bail cable is now connected. Let's see. It seems a little sticky, probably because it's pinched at one point. I wonder if it's bent. Let's try that again. Nope. Just sticking. Well, I guess without further ado, jingling is connected. So let's put some fuel in, because this should start right up. Ideally, in a perfect world, this would work. Right when I put fuel in and pump it, it goes, oh, I have fuel. I'm gonna start now. All right, jingling, don't let me down. Good old Chinese spark plugs. Here goes. This is 2-stroke. That should be enough fuel. Okay, well, here goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Because why not? 15's a good number. It's not round, but it's good. Ah, she runs a little bit out of control. The plot thickens. Let's see why. I'm going to have a peek. All right, so I've bent the idle plate back towards the governor. Let's see if that makes a difference. Okay, that's right. I need to prime it. Just a few times, just a few times. It's okay. All right, let's give it a try again. Definitely racing a little bit out of control there. I think the governor is just sticking a little. Let me try to adjust these linkages and see if that makes a difference. Yeah, it seems to be exactly what the problem is. It seems to be that those linkages are sticking, which means... Is this leaking fuel? Is that gasoline it's leaking? I'm not quite sure. It must be, because the carb bowl is wet. I think it's leaking gasoline, possibly. Maybe not. Well, let me leave it for a few. We'll see. I mean, it does have this pool mark here, almost like it does drip, which is rather interesting. But it does start, and it will run. So the carb is fine. That's what leads me to believe that all it is the linkages are sticking. It's a little late now to really crack into it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to leave it for the morning, and then we're going to take this apart, get that carburetor off, and fix the linkages. They might be crossed. And once we do that, we'll put it back together, and hopefully, problem solved. We'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. See you in the morning. Okay, so let's get this taken apart. Let's take that fuel tank off first. That just lifts up and away. Then I can get a pinch on it. Come here, Mr. Pinch. I am little Mr. Pinch. Oh, hello, little Mr. Pinch. Hello. I still pinch. Pinch. Well, you do pinch. So hold on. Okay. Get the whole Mr. Pinch family. Next, a big Phillips. And we should be able to separate this from the engine. Spark plug wire off. Next one. Beauty. So I thought the carb was leaking, but it's not. It's not wet. it seems to be fine. Not sure what all that was, but definitely not leaking now. Okay, is it free? It's free. Right, so let's move this away. Wonder if you guys will see what the problem is. Well, what I think the problem is. Pretty sure it's just the routing of these linkages, and they're sticking open. So let me just adjust the routing, see if that makes if that makes the difference, and we'll try it again. Sometimes that's all it is. There, now behave. Behave. Good. It's sort of behaving. Let's see if that was what the problem was. Good, let's just hold it down for a sec. Need to connect the PCV hose. Take the lid off. Don't need that on right now. There. Now I'll use the lid, I'll attempt to use the lid to try to sort of hold it in place, maybe. There. Just to sort of hold it in place. Now we get the lower Phillips in. Oh, it's threading in perfect. Very nice. And just back this one out a bit. And then in. It was in straight. I just wanted to make sure that everything was good. And it wasn't bound up on anything, which it isn't. Okay, Mr. Pinch, you can let go.
Okay, thank you. Ah, if you need me again, I pinch.
Okay. Make sure this PCV tube's on all the way. Come on, fuel tank. There we go. Fuel tank's on. Let's try it. Hopefully this fixes it. Let me just move the cameras away. Actually, let's just move to a better spot. All right, since it's had a while overnight to settle down and not start, let's try it. 5 pumps, 5 pumps. Oh, did I not put the spark plug on? I did put the spark plug on, but it didn't start. Let's try a few more pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because reasons. Let's see if it starts now. And yes, there's fuel. I checked. Well, it started, ran, and then died. I don't know, is that a good thing or a bad thing? This mower is confusing me. Let's see. Well, nothing sinister happened in there. Still seems okay. Let's give it a few pumps. Try it again. Yeah, she's definitely still running way too high. And I know exactly why. The spring has been caught up on the throttle plate. Let me fix that. So it'll be fixed in. And okay, there we go. We're ready to go. So let's try it again. I'll give it a few pumps. 8 pumps. And it's likely gonna idle a bit low. Well, I hope. That throttle is sticky. Really sticky. Why is it so sticky? Shouldn't be that sticky, I don't think. Oh, I think. Oh, it's still a little sticky, but I think I've freed it up a bit. Seems to be moving a lot more freely. It sticks a little bit here and there, but I think the engine vibration will probably take care of that. All right. So let's give it a try now. Third time's the charm? Fourth time? Fifth time? I don't know. What are we at now? 7. Is it 7? Maybe it is 7. I didn't think it was that many. Maybe it's 7. Whatever. Whatever time this is, this should be the charm. Let's try it. I wonder if the governor is backward. It's out of adjustment. I think the governor's out of adjustment on this mower. Interesting. I'm pretty sure that's what the problem is. The governor's actually just out of adjustment. I think I need what? A Torx 10 for that? Torx 10? Maybe it's a Torx 10. This is gonna be fun. Okay, let me look up how to adjust the governor on this. Get you guys set up for a better view, and then I guess we'll get the governor adjusted, because I'm not hearing any kind of governor response whatsoever. So I'm almost 100% positive that this governor is just out of alignment, and we need to fix that. So give me a few minutes. I'll find out sort of how to, I guess, how to reset it, and we'll get back to this. All right, see you in a sec. Okay, so you need a Torx 15 for this. So we're gonna loosen this up, and we're gonna just slightly adjust that up, and that pushes this forward. And then we're gonna tighten it down. And we're gonna try it again. Let's give this another try and see if that has slowed down the mower a bit. Right now, before I move it back to the grass and get it all set up so that we can see how it cuts, let's see how it runs first. And then we'll adjust it again if we need to. So a couple primes. Let's try that again. Give it a few primes. Nope, that's still a no. So let's try it a bit more. All right, let's try it again. Hopefully this doesn't break it. Nope, still not there. I also noticed that this was cranked quite a ways in. Let's try it again. Okay. So now I can find a governor response. Interesting. Let's try it again. Let me try something. Let's try that. I'm not saying this will work. I wasn't saying it'll work, but it worked. All right. Now we're talking. Let's get this up to speed. Gotta fix that third. Nope, that carburetor has to come off. It's just not getting quite enough fuel. All right, let's get that carburetor off. All right, guys, carburetor's cleaned. I actually changed it from the carburetor that was on here to the one from this engine, from the one that was blown, that Lawn Boy. Yeah, took the carburetor off that one. I figured why not. Also, number 2 Robertson, i.e. the Canadian Phillips. Watch this, what happens when I use it on a number 3 Phillips. Look, it sits on. And screws in quite nicely. Apply a good amount of torque and tighten it down. There we go. The metric version of the Phillips. How about that? All right, let's get the gas tank on. Oops, sorry guys. Blocked your view with my knee. Air cover. Right. Let me clean this up. We'll spray this lawnmower down after with that cleaning solution, just to polish it up a little bit. All right. I guess let's give it a try first, and then we'll take it down to the grass. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll try here quick, and then take it down to the grass. So I'll give it a few pumps. I'm going to change that after. Now, this should work. Please work. Please work. Okay, let me increase the RPM a little bit. Other than the odd pop and pop, it's not running too bad. I figure, you know what the heck? It's an old unit. That's, it's probably the carburetor. Maybe running through it, who knows. But, what the heck? Let's see how it'll cut some grass. What the heck? It's been a long time coming. All right, well, spark plug wire's on. Oh, now it's not. Now it's on. And it was just running. So I'm going to check the fuel. And I don't think it'll need priming. And then we should just fire it right up and see if it fires up, and see what happens. There should be enough fuel. All right, let's fire it up. Okay, I'll stop doing that. Uh-oh. Hopefully that didn't kill it. I hope not. I don't think so. Oh no. The spark plug wire came off. Ha! That was funny. I thought the engine died, but the spark plug wire got knocked off. That's hilarious. All right, let's try that again. What timing? Beautiful, there we go. Yeah, this might take a little bit longer to sort, at least this part. But other than that little minor hiccup, it actually seems to work pretty darn well. Alright, well, I guess guys, I'll see you in the next one. So how about that, eh? Another safe Tecumseh engine. I mean, other than that little minor issue with this darn bail cable and it sticking a bit, managed to save it. I mean, it only had one tiny little problem. First I thought it was back there in the linkages. Yeah, it wasn't quite the linkages. Turns out the governor needed some adjustment. That wasn't too bad once I figured out how to do it. It was actually fairly simple. Changed the carburetor, and I'd like to change this guy because it's a little hard, but whatever, it seems to work. And as far as anything else, well, I would want to change this spark plug to a proper champion, but the jingling did perform and it did not let me down. So, I mean, I'll give it that. At least it worked. So, alright guys. Other than that one nagging issue with the bail, which seems to be a pet peeve of mine with these darn lawnmowers, is I keep seeming to find ones that have bail problems. Oh well. Alright guys, well, I'll see you in the next one. Spark plug off for safety. Hey guys, so that's the end of part 1, and I really appreciate you watching so far, but if I could ask one favor, could you please give it a thumbs up? That really does help the channel a lot. Now on to more. Hey guys, so today we have this, and we have this. So you may not recognize this, or you might recognize this lawnmower. It's that Mastercraft up there. Unfortunately, the person I sold this to, they had a minor problem. And then when I flipped this machine over after I brought it back, look at all that oil. And if you look up there, it looks like it blew its oil seal. Oh dear, that's a bit of a problem. The issue is, when this person contacted me, unfortunately, they kept putting gasoline in and it kept disappearing. They didn't know where it went. I checked the oil and, well, let's just say the oil's empty because it all went out the bottom. And the fuel, it kept leaking out the side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull that engine and put it on that mower. And the reason why I'm doing that is really simple. This deck, it's completely blown out. So the other thing is, I don't even know if that thing runs. So we got to see if that thing runs first. Then if it does, then we'll pull it off of there and plop it on there. And if it doesn't run, we fix it first on there, then we move it over. All right, guys, let's crack into it. All right, so before we fire up this thing, first preliminary, a couple first preliminary checks. Is there fuel? Nope. There's no fuel, so it might just work right off the bat. Is there oil? Looks like it. Double check. Yeah, I'd say there's enough oil in there to test. Okay, so I guess let's throw a little bit of gasoline in there, prime it up, and see what happens. Spark plug wire on. Ah, I see. I've heard of this before. Maybe I'm not sure if this is quite to the same extent, but that seems interesting. So I guess seems kind of crazy how to pull it off. That's nuts. Wow. Okay. And that's it used to have a throttle. Okay, I see. Up there on the handlebars, they used to have a throttle. Okay, well, let's try this. I think it's priming. Oh dear. So I'm seeing a little bit of a problem. The rope's all over the place. Why is the rope all over the place. What happened here? Okay. You win round 1. Let's pop this off. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 5/16. All right. Let's see. Is this one a 3/8 or a 10 mil? 3/8. This is a 3/8. There we go. That's been over tightened. All right, fuel tank out of the way. Two more 3/8 here. Should have an extension for those, I think. One more here at the front. Oh, no, 2 more at the front. 5/16 here on top for the oil tube. There. Now this part should just lift away. There it is. Oof, what a mess. How free is this? Oh, it's pretty good. Okay, that's not bad. That's not nice. That's not good. It's not terrible. Interesting. Just to prevent it from over revving, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Anyway, let me grab a different recoil, one that'll fit, and then we can try this out. Oh, why is it sticking? Oh, I think it's stuck to the magnet. Yep, it's stuck to the magnet. Let's fix this. It feels like it's binding. I think that's 1/4 inch. It is 1/4 inch. Business card in. Rotate the engine. There. Now we'll tighten this down. And we'll take the business card out. Perfect. Now let's get the magnet back in place again so it doesn't interfere with the housing. There we go, that's better. Why does this feel like it's not fitting properly? This doesn't make sense. Let's see how different it is from the original. Seems pretty identical. Might be just warped then. So in other words, I'm gonna have to force it. It's kind of annoying. Let's try releasing these a bit. 5 pumps. Let's see. Oh, it pulls. Good. Let's put this down. And okay, we've got something. Right. Okay, perfect. That couldn't have worked out any better. Huh. Awesome. All right, let's do the swap. Okay, so let's get that blade off. Oof, look at that blade adapter. Oh, I hope this is gonna come off okay. Size that blade adapter. Oh, it looks like a big one. Yeah, it's a big one. I'll be right back with a big one. All right, so I got a bunch of bigger sockets. See which one fits. And hopefully I can get it off. Okay, that's too big. 17? Nope, too big. Too big. I guess it might be a 3/4.
You sure about that?
Or, no, 5/8. Okay, I think I got the right one this time. 5/8. Set to maximum, let's take it off. And hopefully it'll be at the maximum, let's take it off. It did. It took it off. Right. Let me get a puller so I can take this guy off. Okay, blade, you'll come in handy. Sorry, I didn't realize that you couldn't see very well. My apologies. It's hard. It's really bright out here right now. So it's hard to see what the camera sees and doesn't see. Oh, really?
Hey, look at that, guys. Look what I found. A red subscribe button. If you made it this far into the video, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, give it a thumbs up. Comment below. I love to read your comments, and I try to reply to as many of them as I can, especially the early ones. All right, guys, back to the video.
I know I should chalk the wheel. I know. What size is that? I think, no, 9/16 maybe? No, 1/2 inch? Yes. Okay, I hope it comes off easy. Oh, but that did. These always like to fight. I'm thinking maybe I should just leave things alone and just reuse this blade perhaps. Or one similar. Actually, this one's not too bad. This isn't too bad. It just looks a little rusted. Maybe I'll just reuse this blade because yeah, I don't really want to break this or bend it or anything. So maybe we'll just leave well enough alone. Right. So let's get this engine off. And this looks like 9/16. 1. 2. Oh, 1 all the way. Second one. Now to lower this and take this last one off. There we go. And now off comes the engine. Off camera, I'm going to strip this down and toss it and say bye-bye. But I think I'm going to swap these wheels over to that deck because these ones seem a little bit better. Right, now to repeat the process. Come here, blade. See, is this the same size? Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, it looks like I'll be able to reuse this blade. It's the right type of adapter on it. Okay, so let's get this blade off. Of course, it's a 9/16. Oh, that's an MTD.
Shucks. Oh well, that's okay. Looks like a universal blade anyway. Then I bet you anything these are probably 1/2 inch. Let's see, try 9/16, it's too big. 1/2 inch it is. Where's the other one? There it is, down here. I need a top one right here. We'll loosen it. Just like last time, we'll lower it down. I'll take it off the rest of the way. And off comes this engine. All right, let's put this engine on. And lift it a bit. And get the first bolt in place. Sorry you can't see anything here. I can assure you it's not that exciting. There. First bolt's in. And I'll line up the next two. Okay, that one's threading in. Now what do I do with the last one? Still in the gun. Okay. And there we go. That engine's on. Oh, we don't need this. I know what they're trying to do, but we don't need that anymore. Okay, so let's get that blade on. I wonder if I can I don't know. Let's just put on the old blade for now. Actually, I'm gonna go sharpen it up, make it look nice. I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I got another blade on. The one that came with it, with that other engine, there's no way that was the right blade. There's absolutely no way, because this had two little pins on the blade adapter, and the blade that was there didn't have the cutouts for those pins at all, the alignment pins. But this blade did, which I had from another mower, and looks pretty good. Looks like it's going to be a good blade for this mower. So now that's back together. I've got the handlebars on it and cable. So I guess let's give it a try and make sure it works still. Right, let's give it a few primes. You know, it's one extra prime, whatever. 4, 5, 6, whatever it works out to. Okay. So yeah, let's give it a try, shall we? Perfect. So I guess the next thing we should do, change out the oil, we'll get the engine nice and warm, and then we'll put the cover back on. Right, so I'm just going to fire up the engine, get it nice and warm, and then when we come back, I'll be getting the oil siphon and everything all set up and ready for an oil change. All right, see you shortly. Okay, there we go. Should be nice and hot. Look, yeah, there's a little bit of smoke coming off of here from I had sprayed some lube, and I guess I got a little bit of lube on the exhaust, so it's just smoking off. Not a big deal, although I guess we should keep an eye on that, just in case that's not. No, there's no way. I don't see any other oil anywhere. I don't think that's like the rear main or the
front main. Definitely not the front main. That's the other engine. This one looks like it's pretty good. Yeah, definitely just accidentally sprayed some lube on there, and it's just burning off, or there was a little bit of oil in there. One or the other. Nothing fancy. There we go. That siphon is in. Now to put the oil line in, just clear it off. Don't want any kind of debris getting into the engine. Go nice and clean. Oh my. Clean that off, and in the line goes. There we go, that's all of it. Move that out of the way. Darn dust and dirt floating around and sticking to things. Oh, look at that. Brand new one. I got a Champion spark plug. And there we go. Well, this engine takes 500 milliliters or 16 ounces in Freedom units. There we go, 10W30. 500 mils of the good stuff, although I think I've slightly overfilled it. Not a big deal. Dog hairs everywhere. That Ollie dog, he sheds a lot. Yeah, this doesn't want to go in. There we go. Clean it off. Check the level again. Oh dear. Well, we're a little over full. Since we're over full, just going to suck out what we need. Set this to around here. And there. So we'll suck out the excess. That should be the excess. Let's just make 100% sure. Still a little bit high. Still a little bit high. We're up to there. Honestly, not that bad. So let's do it one more time. That time that should be enough. Yeah, much better this time. Now put the cover back on. And it went from a Mastercraft to a Craftsman. Screw the cover down. Let's take a look at this air filter. Hopefully there is one. Flat or 5/16. Flat or standard, take a pick. Ooh, she's a nasty one. Terrible. That's, well, at least it has an air filter, but wow, that's pretty bad. What does this mean? Why is there gas here? Huh. It's not leaking, is it? I hope not. There's no more gasoline in there. Let's add some, make sure it's not leaking. Not a whole lot left in here. Okay, we'll wipe this up. I wonder if it was from when I was priming it. So I don't see it dripping from anywhere. I'm seeing fuel leaking out, so let's give it a couple primes. Yeah, it must have been just fuel leaking out.
You sure about that?
Because I can see it running down whenever you prime it. So that must be all it is. Right, so let's get the air filter on. So there's the air filter. And there's the part number. Oh, it's getting heavy. Oh, I gotta let it go. Sorry about that, guys. I hope you got it. But let's get this thing opened. So now let's get the air filter in. You know what that means? Right, and there we go. That mower's all done. I guess the only thing left to do is, cut some grass with it. So I guess let's get it all set up and go cut some grass. See you in a sec. Okay, so it should still be warm enough that we should be able to fire it up. There. Now, just oil, some gasoline dripping. No, there isn't. Good. Should just fire right up now. What you done? Well, there we go, guys. Another engine swap successfully done. And, well, problem solved. The Tecumseh blew out its front main seal, or the crank seal by the blade. So I guess that would be the bottom seal, depending on whether you're talking, depending on how you're looking at it. Because when I discuss like front main, rear main, so if you look at a car, the rear main seal is actually behind the flywheel. So this engine would be actually rotated this way. So you'd have the front of the crankshaft where the blade is, would be out this way with the crank pulley on. and the flywheel would be towards the back where the transmission is. So the flywheel would have the rear main seal, and the blade side would be the front main seal. That's why I call it that way. It's just old automotive terms. But anyway, yeah, this mower is all done. It's working, doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's cutting grass, and it's not leaking oil, and it doesn't seem to be leaking gasoline. So I have a feeling that the gas that had leaked was when I was priming it.
You sure about that?
I hadn't put much gas in to begin with. I still see fuel in there from when I just filled it, and maybe it is leaking gas. I'm not 100% sure. So we'll have to keep an eye on it, and if need be, I guess, well, I'm not seeing an active leak. So we'll see if it is actively leaking fuel, because right now I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all. So let's, I guess, wait a little bit, and we'll see if it's actively leaking fuel or if it was just from priming it. A little bit fuel does leak out, because when you prime it, it pushes it up the emulsion tube. That way it can get sucked into the engine. But all right, guys, I guess that's it for this one. So I'll see you in the next one. So there we go, guys. Another one done. This time from a Mastercraft with a Tecumseh engine to a Mastercraft deck with a Craftsman engine. But I believe that this deck was made by the same people that make that Craftsman deck, which is likely AYP. Very interesting. So change the oil. We'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully it's not leaking fuel. I don't think it is. Doesn't seem to be. It looks like it was specifically just from when priming it. But just in case, I will keep an eye on it. I'll probably put a little bit more fuel in there. That way it adds a little bit of, I guess, weight, sort of speak, like pressure, like head pressure. So that if there is an active leak, the extra fuel should force the issue if there is. But we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, guys, it looks like that's it for this one. Another successful repair at the moment, which is good. And no, I didn't bother changing this. I don't really see a point to setting it. Just put it at a certain spot and leave it alone. I don't think anyone's going to mess around with it. Anyway, guys, I guess, oh look. It's got an NGK spark plug. That's pretty good. I'm sorry if I just realized that one of my microphones connected up to the wrong thing, so hopefully it's not too bad, the audio. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. The audio should be fine, but the lawnmower engine probably a little bit distorted, which I do apologize for. I didn't realize that. My microphone had decided to reconnect to a different phone, but it is what it is. All right, guys, I guess spark plug off for safety. Right, so right now, as you can see, there's no leakage because, well, it's a different gas tank. Let me show you. So take a look at that. That's all silicone. This gas tank was completely split. So I had filled it up and it started pissing fuel everywhere. And I'm like, what is going on? And yeah, this gas tank was split right open. So that would have been unfortunate because she just gave me back a mower that was leaking gas. And then I was going to give her this one that was leaking gas. Good thing I decided that I was going to add some fuel to it because, yeah, it would have been leaking gas. Oh, and another rather interesting thing about this. This mower, I don't even need to prime it. I can just pull it and it'll start. So right now, she's cold. I haven't run it in a while. It's actually late evening now. Or, well, early evening, I should say. So yeah, she's cold. I haven't run it. So let me just set up my phone and give it a pull. I haven't primed it. Spark plug's on. I'm not going to prime it. It should just start. It's great. I like that. Oh, it's gonna call me a liar. So yeah, it just starts. It just likes to start. Plus, I changed all 4 wheels. I took them from the deck that I tore down. I put all 4 wheels on because they were actually in a lot better shape than the ones that were on there. Much better. Rolls a lot better and tracks straighter because, well, they're not wobbly. And I lubed them up. Plus, I've also lubed up the cable, so it pulls actually pretty easy. Anyway, guys, let me just take care of one more thing again. And that's, yeah. See you in the next one.
Hey guys, you stuck around to the end. Honestly, I applaud you. I'm very thankful that you stuck around this long. And if you haven't already, please do give it a thumbs up. You'll never believe how much that actually really does help the channel. Also, comment below, please do, because I read all your comments and I do reply to as many of them as I can, as soon as I can. Also, if this isn't your first time on this channel and you haven't already yet, well, then I hope that this video will be the video that I earn your subscription. Thanks, guys. It means a lot to me. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one.